Hi guys, so today I am at the HQ of UMW Toyota Motors and we are here to check out the Toyota Harrier. So the Harrier certainly needs no further introduction in our market. It has been a hugely popular premium SUV, but much of the early popularity has come from the efforts of the grey import market. So it wasn't until 2018 that UMW Toyota Motor brought in the 4th generation Harrier on an official basis, and today we are here to welcome the all-new 5th generation model. This is based on the TNGA platform. Only one variant is on sale, a 2-liter naturally aspirated model with 173 horsepower, and it is priced at 249,000 ringgit. So let's check it out. So let's start with the biggest talking point of the new Harrier, the engine. This is the 2-liter M20A engine from the Toyota Dynamic Force family. This engine family was developed specially together with the TNGA platform. Outputs rated for this engine 173 PS, 203 Newton meters of torque. So performance-wise, it's a step down from the predecessor, which made 231 PS and 350 Newton meters of torque from its turbocharged 8AR engine family. If you're asking why did UMW Toyota Motor choose this engine and not the turbo, the answer is that globally there isn't a Harrier turbo for them to choose from. It's either this or the hybrid, which would escalate the cost of this car by quite a bit. But this new Dynamic Force engine family does have a few tricks up its sleeves. Firstly, it has 40% thermal efficiency, which makes it one of the most thermally efficient engines out there in the market. And of course, it is loaded with technologies such as dual injection system as well as VVT-IE, all created for the purpose of improving smoothness, performance and efficiency. The layout of the engine bay. So here, this is the engine. All right, the engine block itself, it sits here. They've put the fuse box here. This is one of the engine mountings where the engine sits on. Battery is placed here. ABS module in there. That's the brakes master cylinder. And here's the A intake. This, I believe, looks like the engine control unit. And this is another fuse box here. So it has two fuse boxes, one here, put at the extreme ends of the engine bay. All right. Of course, the battery, in my opinion, well, it's a little too close to the engine for comfort, but I think at the same time they also want to keep the ABS pump as well as the engine control unit as far away from the engine as possible, together with the fuse boxes. So the battery, well, I mean, amongst all the things that they want to protect from heat, the battery is the one that is the easiest and the cheapest to replace. Alright, so now let's check out the exterior styling. So you can see familiar styling cues. The front fascia, it carries that family look that Toyota has introduced with all its TNGA generation cars. Most notably, you can see the lighting signature of its DRLs. Okay, this is the same shape that you see in the Corolla, and interestingly enough, there's this amber strip here. Okay, this amber strip here that gives the front end of this car a bit of a US spec appearance. But don't be confused. These are not US spec headlights. Why? Because for Malaysia, the headlights that we get here, these are LEDs with adaptive high beams, and this is a feature that by US regulation cannot be introduced there. It's not allowed to be in the US market. So the US spec answer to the Harrier actually has a lower grade headlights than what we are seeing here. Now, the rest of the front fascia, you can see this is the Toyota badge is laminated, so behind it is of course the radar module for the ADAS system, right? Or in Toyota speak, Toyota Safety Sense. And of course this front grille here, well, has this shining finish I presume is acrylic. So this is a trademark Harrier styling cue, okay, that's preserved here. But the lower bumper assembly, all right, this wears the current generation Toyota look that you see from the Corolla Cross, the RAV4. The shape of this grille here, together with this chrome strip underneath, so it merges current generation Toyota design with traditional Harrier styling cues. A very effective execution in my opinion. Now we come to the side. So the wheels here look rather conservatively sized. These are 18-inch wheels, all right, paired to two 560 tires. So this is obviously a comfort oriented setup, and it really looks very, very conservative here in the Harrier. So you can see just the side mirror with integrated blinkers, and these curved mirrors for the driver to look down there. So the Harrier here does not come with 360-degree camera, which is, well, in a way it gives it, it's a bit unusual, because you see, well, it's a long story, but if you look at, you may be asking, how come Vios or Hilux can have 360-degree camera but the Harrier does not? The simple answer is that those are CKD models, and UMW Toyota Motors, they can integrate the 360-degree camera locally here, but the Harrier comes whole piece CBU from Japan, and what it means is that whatever that the Japanese principal give them, they take it as is. And plus the fact that if they were to add 360-degree camera into the Harrier, it would then further escalate the cost of the vehicle. So you see, it has the touch type keyless entry, but only for the front doors. But that's fine, all right, because from a functional perspective, right, all you need is you want one keyless entry access point at either side of the car, so that, let's say for example, you can approach either side of the car, you just touch you can lock and unlock the door, that's it. All right, having 4 doors keyless entry, of course, is great, but 2 is sufficient from a functional perspective. Now, as you can see, the doors opening of the doors, the door stretch all the way down. So even though this the Harrier is not likely to see rough use, but it still keeps in mind the SUV positioning by retaining that functional aspect of the SUV, in that when you open the doors, if you splash any mud against the door, this part is protected, so you can get in and out of the car without worrying about dirtying your pants or your dress. So you can see the window line here. Okay, this is a very familiar trademark Harrier window line with this sharp edge at the sharp trailing edge. Tailgate also has a bit of a fastback profile. And yeah, and we come to the back. This is, I would say, my favorite angle of the new Harrier. A very new aggressive look. Okay, very thin, this thin slit tail lights remind me very much of Jaguar. As you can see here, it's illuminated with a full white white strip illumination that's punctured only in the middle by the Toyota badge. So you can see here, Toyota has put the turn signals at the bumper. That's the rear fog light, and I believe this should then be the reverse light. All right, So you can see here, that's the reverse camera, but the overall look is a very clean design. In a way, it's still traditional Harrier in spirit, but very much a new age interpretation. And also you have tailpipes either side. And let's just open the boot. So I don't have the key fob with me, but I can tell you that this has a hands-free opening. Okay, and so you have the retractable tonneau cover here, which can be detached. Firstly, lights at the side here, this is nicely angled. Okay, so when these lights angle downwards, what happens is that when you open this at night, okay, when you open this at night, this light won't glare you. Okay, so it's a very bare surface otherwise. Okay, hard plastic, no power socket, no hooks, nothing. It's just very bare, but this is a nice touch. Okay, this metallic surface here is a nice touch. And when you open this floor, okay, so you can see that's the set of tools there. And so firstly, you see here this pad here, it looks to me like a added bit of insulation. And also this tray here, this removable tray, now this is useful. Okay, allows you to store small items in in a hidden space. And I think what you see, this is a rough surface. Okay, a textured surface. So when you put objects here, and when your car moves, it will inevitably slide about. So when this comes down, this, I believe, helps to dampen the noise of things moving around. And you can see here, this slot, I believe this is where you store the tonneau cover when you remove it. So this is very, very thoughtful from Toyota. All right, let me just close this. And we shall check out the passenger area. All right. So all black interior. Okay, seats fold. Okay, so because the boot floor is raised, it's easy for Toyota to create a seamless loading floor. And you can see, just look at this, right? This looks like it will take a large quantity of items. All right, and also another plus point here is that the middle passenger seat belt, all right, is anchored at the top on the seat back. So when you fold the seat down, it does not interfere with the movement. Armrests with molded cup holders. And down here, rear air con vents with two 2.1 USB ports down there. All right, and here is the door card. Okay, so this is leather. This is also leather. So it's a very, very nice, beautifully finished area here. Okay, because this area, right, when you're seated at the back, especially, this area is a major touch point where you rest your arms and all. So this plastic, this trim piece here also has this textured pattern here. Right, it's plastic now, but at least it has a nice pattern here that's, you know, pleasing to look at. Down here, there's just enough space to drop a bottle here. All right, so now inside, well, what can I tell you? Firstly, the seats, I believe, has recline adjustment. All right, so I'm 170 centimeters tall and got a fist of headroom above me, individually adjustable headrests, and well, the seat, what you call it, leg room is decent, but thigh support, I think, can be better for adults. Perhaps kids or teenagers would appreciate being seated here, but for an adult, I think the seat angle, okay, could have been made slightly higher and deeper for my build. But otherwise, it's a very it's a well built, good, surrounded by good materials, solid, but at the same time also an unspectacular place to be in right here at the back. So let's check out the front. All right, so let's come inside. Okay, now we look at the door card. Now the front door card is quite a bit more elaborate than the rear. Let me open back the rear door. Okay, you can see that there are quite a bit more elements at the front, all right, that they missed out in the rear. So you see that satin chrome trim there, and also that this strip here, all right, this seems like a fabric. It feels like fabric, all right, it feels like a fabric strip here, all right, and this Harrier logo, all these elements are not reflected here at the back. Okay, so but nevertheless, which I believe, I don't know, I feel it's a bit jarring, because I think certain elements like this, it should be commonized between the front door and the rear door to create a more uniform impression. Or perhaps maybe Toyota's looking at this and they decided, hey, you know, this is designed primarily for people who want to drive the car themselves. All right, but still, just like the back, all the front touch points here on the door, very, very pleasant, especially this area here. Okay, you've got memory seats, all right, 2 memory setting, and the panel here, power window switch panel with, well, door opener. This feels like plastic, with coated plastic, but a decent appearance. All right, so you can see here, well, you can see the overall, the basic layout of this is familiar from the Corolla, from the RAV4, from the Camry. All right, it's the basic TNGA design, okay, but of course with unique design elements. Okay, so you can see here, firstly, all right, this piece here is a leather piece, and visually it resembles the saddle on a horse. Okay, of course this gear lever is, I think this is a common gear lever that's across all the TNGA model cars. Now here, I can't show you quite clearly through the camera, but behind here, this is a wireless charging tray. All right, and here there is also two USB ports and an aux jack. Okay, so well, this is the familiar control, climate control panel that we saw in the Corolla, saw in the RAV4, saw in the Corolla Cross as well. And this is also, once again, this is the familiar Toyota infotainment display, all right, where there is, in my opinion, there's a disproportionate amount of blank space, all right, that the head unit does not fill up in the assembly. Okay, and yes, I have seen and read enough comments from you guys about this, so I think no further comments needed lah. Okay, and check this out. So here, there's a digital, the rear view mirror, right? Okay, this is a digital rear view mirror. So in certain conditions, instead of showing you the reflection, it shows you a feed from the camera. All right, so you see what I'm seeing here, all right, it's there. All right, that's Abangan who walked past there. As you can see, Abangan was there just now, walking past the mirror. All right, and you can do things like you can adjust the brightness, or you can set it to auto. All right, so it's not a touch screen, but you can change the positioning, all right, or tilt of the camera angle. That's pretty neat. Okay, so down here, this touch screen here, well, this looks, wow, look at the font, man, fancy fonts. Look at this. And so you can go to home. All right, you can look at the things like the trip computer info. So this is obviously a factory fitted integrated system, right? Unlike the Corolla that we reviewed the previous time, where a lot of you guys bang about the locally integrated, the locally installed head unit. This is not. This is factory integrated. Okay, it came with the car straight from the factory. Right, so you can access the various menus. Of course, the color scheme of the screen is a bit on the dull side. Let me see if you can change the color, general, customize home screen. Well, so theme setting, so you can change the color. What do you guys think of red? Not exactly my thing, to be honest. Okay, so the instrument cluster has well, analog tachometer, analog speedometer with a screen in between, and let me just try and navigate through the screen. So here you can access you can look at you can browse through the various functions. So there's lane keep assist, pre-collision, blind spot, parking sensors, rear cross traffic alert, reverse sensors, HUD, so there's a heads up display there. You can see the display. All right, settings. Okay, what other settings can I access? Well, power tailgate, tire pressure warning system, seatbelt reminder. So very neat, very simple, unfussy design. But I think what really is noteworthy is the choice of materials. So you can see here, this is soft touch plastic on the top of the dash. This is leather. This is leather. Okay, and you have this strip here that runs through again, that ends with a little well, chrome piece here. Okay, so glove box is rather huge. All right, and you come down here, ventilated and heated seats, very useful in the hot weather. So this is a detachable tray. Now this is not meant to be a cup holder. Okay, let me just point this out. This is not meant to be a cup holder. What this is for is in case when you have a shallow cup, you can drop this inside here. Okay, so that if you have a shorter cup or tin, you can put this here, and yeah, and so you see it snaps in place. All right, or if you have a taller cup, you can take this out. This is for the purpose of adjusting the height of the cup holders. This tray here is not meant to be a cup holder. And down here you can see, well, decently sized compartment. We've got another 12-volt socket here as well. Right, so if you want more look of the cabin. All right, familiar TNGA architecture, but of course built to the style of the Harrier. Now let me just try and next up, let's show you this, the full panoramic moonroof. Okay, so instantly gives the cabin an airier ambience. So you can see here, they have also integrated the dash cam here as well. Yeah, just off this. So overall, typical Toyota execution, great quality. All right, as a Harrier, compare this with a Camry, or compare this with a Corolla or a RAV4. There's a bit more flair in this design. Okay, I would, in a way, I believe, to justify the higher price point of this car. And wow, check this out, guys. Got heated steering, man. And there's also a slot here for you to drop your touch and go cards. Okay guys, so here you have it, a quick media preview of the all-new Toyota Harrier. All right, no test drive today, unfortunately, so all I have are impressions. Well, I have to say, at first look, the new styling looks great. Okay, definitely a much more modern and dynamic looking Harrier than the ones that came before. I particularly like how they integrate, you know, the traditional Harrier styling element with present generation Toyota styling language. All right, so inside also you can I feel that the build quality is substantially better than the previous generation Harrier. It feels a more fitting luxury car. Now, of course, the powertrain, that would be a source of complaint. 231 PS to 173 PS, can't deny it's a big step down. But let's give it a chance on the road before we draw any firm conclusions. Okay, so right now, just to end with a recap, this is the all-new Toyota Harrier 5th generation model, 2-liter NA CVT front-wheel drive, 173 PS, priced at 249,000 ringgit with 50% SST reduction. Full price with SST will be 259,000 ringgit. Okay, so stay tuned. We will come back to you guys once we have the chance to review this car on the road. Bye guys.